Plant collectors beware, these are easy to get addicted to. Let's talk about Haworthia. What's up, fellow plant enthusiasts? My name is Dylan and this is Bane's Botanicals. Today we're going to be talking about Haworthia. It's kind of a double video because we're going to be talking a little bit about taxonomy. Basically, a lot of the plants that were in the Haworthia genus got moved into their own genus called Hawthoriopsis. So I've got an example of both. It's the reason that I kept both is because they are technically different. There may actually be a third genus that adopted some of those plants. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's one of those things where in 5 years they could put them back together and nobody would be any wiser. So just a little tidbit to keep in mind. Here is the taxonomy information for Haworthia and Hawthoriopsis. They are in the family of aloes. The name is escaping me. It is, oh yeah, Asphodelaceae. That is the aloes, that's Gasteria. A lot of plants that have this shape, that have the leaves that make you think that they're an aloe, that's Asphodelaceae. So pretty big genus of succulents, really. Not quite as numerous as, say, like Crassulaceae probably, but yeah. As far as care goes, these guys are really easy. They are pretty hardy, even if you like feel this, and this is a really pretty one. This one is also unique in its own way. I mean, this one kind of looks like an Echeveria a little bit, but it does have what they call cathedral windows sometimes. You can't really tell on this one as much, but basically the tops of these leaves are clear to allow light in. So that's kind of a unique feature of a plant that you don't see very much. But they just need bright indirect light, just like any succulent. They are not low light plants. You want to make sure that if they're not next to a window, you want to probably keep them under a grow light, just so that they get enough light. Watering, you want them to dry out for about a day before you water them again. So you water them more than a cactus and you water them less than a tropical plant. So you don't really want to keep these moist by any means. You want to make sure they dry out, but you don't want them to stay dry like you would a cactus. These particular two could stay dry a little bit longer, but and you won't really see any adverse effects. But like this one, even this one, you can kind of see that it has a couple of brown tips, and that's perfectly normal just because the tips are so fine that it's almost impossible to keep them from getting brown tips. But you see that they're not really that noticeable, and if they're really like crunchy, you can just kind of cut them off or break them off. Just make sure you're not cutting into the live part of the plant because you could open it to infection and things like that. But this one I think looks fine. What are we on? Soil. Just a fast draining cactus soil, extra perlite or sand or whatever that might be in it just to help aid in that drainage. And terracotta pots are probably preferred for most succulents. And actually, when you do use terracotta, you could probably water a little more frequently just because this is helping to keep it from staying too wet. Fertilizer, just dilute your fertilizer a little bit more than you would, say, for your house plants, like your tropical house plants, I should say. Succulents, since they retain water, they can be a little more sensitive to over-fertilizing. So the thing is, you can always add more fertilizer if you need to, but you can't take it away. So just try to be a little bit careful about that. And just the fact that succulents in general grow more slowly, they don't need as much fertilizer as a tropical plant that puts out a new leaf, you know, every couple of days or a few days. Oh yeah, humidity, they don't really need humidity. They're succulents. They don't mind a little bit, but they don't need it. So if you have kind of a drier house, especially in the wintertime, I mean, it's not going to affect these not having that extra humidity, so that's good. I didn't really go into the actual species. Let me do that real quick. This one, I tried to find the species name of it. I came up with Retusa. I've also got Cymbiformis down here, and then I've also got possibly Cuspidata. So when it comes to succulents, and these are no exceptions, a lot of times it can be hard to track down the actual species name just because there is such a wide variety of different species, even within a single genus. So there are many species of Haworthia. Like I said, they're fun to collect, and a lot of them look very different from each other, but there are a few species of, is this the Haworthia? Yeah, this is the Haworthia. There are a few species that look very similar to this, so don't beat yourself up if you can't track down the actual species name. As long as you know it's a Haworthia, that's all that really matters. This one is Hawthoriopsis, I think it's attenuata. Yeah, attenuata. It's also called a zebra Haworthia, even though it's Hawthoriopsis now. But yeah, and if you notice, it does have a lot of little babies around the edge. Those are the kind of things that if you wanted to, you could cut those, and using a clean pair of scissors, of course, you could cut those, let the wound callus for maybe a day or two, and you could plant them and have new plants. They produce babies prolifically, so really easy to have more plants with these. Because if I cut all of these out, there would just be like the mother plant left. You can probably kind of tell which is the mother plant just because it's the biggest piece of this. Or you can leave them in here and have it look like this. It's actually got a little root coming out of there. So when spring comes, I'll probably just go ahead and repot this into a little bit bigger of a pot, just so that these guys can have a little bit more room to breathe and grow and everything. But just another quick side note about succulents, they don't mind being root bound a little bit. I could leave this in the pot and it would be just fine. Cacti especially like being root bound. They like having that compact soil. Sometimes that can help them bloom a little bit better, but there is a point. Like there is a point where you do need to repot. This one's probably not there yet, but I don't know, it'll be fun. So I think that's all I have about Haworthia and Hawthoriopsis. It's just kind of interesting that they got split, but I don't know, I'm kind of a nerd like that. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you like it. Let me know if you have other cool species of Haworthia or Hawthoriopsis that you enjoy. Maybe I'll get another one. But yeah, hope you guys are staying warm if you're in a cold climate, because it has been very cold recently. So yeah, thank you for the likes and subscribes and everything, and I will see you guys very soon. Thank you.